Okay, so again we're going to apply the grapeseed oil with a nice flowing effleurage move. And because we've got a little bit more hair on the back of these legs, we're going to have a little bit more effleurage and a little bit more lubrication so we don't pull the hair. So once you feel as though you've got enough oil, I might just have a little bit more just to slide underneath the leg as well. So definitely under the shin and under the side of the top of the leg. That's better. So we're going to start with hands, opposite hands at the heel. And we're going to effleurage all the way up the calf. Lighter over the knee and then body weight into the thigh, right to the top, divide your hands, come down the sides. When I get to the knee, I'm just going to have one hand underneath and one on the top and do a nice foot cuddle, not losing contact. I'm going to come up and effleurage up the calf, lightly over the knee, lean my body weight into the thigh, all the way to the towel, and come back down the sides, underneath at the knee, and then a foot cuddle at the end. So keeping that contact, effleurage up, body weight into the thigh, come down the side, underneath, and a nice foot cuddle. So again, pressure is up towards the heart and then lightly back, either side, one hand on the top and one hand coming over the foot like a foot cuddle. You shouldn't be in too much of a rush to complete your effleurage. This is what relaxes the client, gives them a sense of well-being. So I'm going to do one more effleurage all the way up, hands moulding to the contours of the body, fingers and thumbs in contact. And this time I'm going to support with the outside hand and the inside hand is going to effleurage up the middle of the calf and back on the inside. So the whole hand is in contact. You can see the ripple running in front of the fingers and lightly back. So covering the whole of the inside of the calf. Then I'm going to change hands, come up the middle and back on the outside. So pressure up and lightly back. So just going as far as the knee, up to the knee and back on the outside. And again, up to the knee and back on the outside. So this time I'm going to come up to the knee, back on the inside. I'm going to effleurage up and then I'm going to come up the thigh, back on the inside. Up the thigh, back on the inside. So pressure up the middle and back on the inside. Now we would never take it up the inside and back on the middle for obvious reasons. We don't want to go too far and frighten the client to death and think how far are they coming. So we're going to come up the middle, back on the inside. Change hands, up the middle, back on the outside. Up the middle, back on the outside. So again, you can see my ripple running in front of the fingers, and I'm using the whole of the flat of the hand, a nice consistent pressure on the way up, and then lightly back. And this time, I'm going to come up the middle, divide my hands, come back down, effleurage under the shin, foot cuddle back one at a time. So we're keeping the flow, we're making sure we don't lose contact, we're using the whole of the hand and cuddling the foot. So I'm going to do one more, come underneath the foot. So we're coming up, lightly over the knee, pressure into the thigh. Up, over the thigh, and this time when we come to do our foot cuddle, I'm going to take it nice and slowly like a full stop over the toes and flick it away. So we're going to cover up this side, keeping a hand on so we maintain contact. I'm going to go around the other side, uncover the leg, tuck the top towel into the pant line and the inside towel under the leg we've just done. That's good. Then again we're going to use Effleurage to lubricate. So the more relaxed you want your client to be, the more effleurage you do. If your client is hairy, you're going to use a little bit more oil than if they're not, because you don't want to pull the hairs. So you want a nice lunge position with your body. You don't want to be overstretching from here and rubbing your clothes on your client's leg. So we're going to have a nice lunge. We're going to effleurage up the leg, into the thigh, come back either side, one on the top, one underneath, and a nice foot cuddle. Come back one at a time so you don't lose contact. So we're coming up, down the sides, one underneath, one on the top when you get to the knee, with a nice foot cuddle. Nice bit of pressure. You can ask your client about pressure. How is it? Do they want more pressure, less pressure? But the main thing we want to focus on is flow and contact and coverage. So we're coming up and down and a foot cuddle at the end. So then I'm going to support with my outside hand, come up the middle with the inside hand and back on the inside. See the ripple as the fingers come up over the calf, back on the inside. So we're only coming as far as the knee, back on the inside. I'm going to do one more. And then we're going to change hands, up the middle, back on the outside. So we're going to do 5 or 6 of each type of effleurage. If you need more oil, you're going to stop and apply a little bit more oil. But you want enough to make sure that you're moving the skin and it's not sliding like a sort of slippery fish underneath your hands. You want some sort of manipulation of the tissues. So then I'm going to effleurage up and then go up the middle, back on the inside of the thigh. So up the middle, back on the inside. Up the middle, back on the inside. So you've got the hamstrings under here. You change hands, come up the middle, back on the outside. Always support with the other hand. We never do anything with just one hand without supporting with the other. And then we're going to come up and back with a foot cuddle. Keeping contact, so improving the circulation, draining the lymph, desquamating the skin. And on the last one, we're going to bring the hands together, full stop over the foot, flick it away, and cover up the leg. Okay?